President Donald Trump defending a new fund designed to provide payments to Americans who claim to be victims of what he describes as government weaponization.
We're reimbursing those people for their legal fees and for their costs and for anybody involved.
But now lawmakers on both sides of the aisle expressing concerns.
I have almost zero confidence in the DOJ right now. And so let's go back and try and regain some of that confidence before we talk about any money.
He just wants to continue to use the budget of the United States illegally as a political slush fund for his foot soldiers.
It all comes from an agreement between the president and his own administration after Trump's legal team dropped a lawsuit against the IRS over the release of the president's tax returns.
Donald Trump made up a whole bogus lawsuit that he ultimately withdrew.
The president also agreeing to drop other claims against the government in exchange for the new fund, which will provide money to Trump allies who say they were wrongly prosecuted by the Biden or Obama administrations.
It's entirely voluntary if an individual wants to apply.
Those receiving money may include January 6 rioters. Trump and his family will not receive any of the money. But as part of the agreement, the DOJ saying the U.S. cannot pursue any ongoing audits into the finances of the president, his businesses, or family members.
I have never seen anything like this in my decades at the Justice Department.
Rupa Bhattacharya, who led the 9/11 Victims Fund, said the agreement may face challenges.
It is not at all clear to me what the legal authority is for diverting these funds.
Republican Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick sending Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche a letter asking for more information.
I don't support it. I think you can't do that.
But standing in the way of the fund may be a tough ask of rank-and-file Republicans who do not want to cross Donald Trump.
Everybody should support that.
Now, some of those House and Senate members who have asked the DOJ for specifics are promising to stand in the way of the fund without their authorization. There's also a series of lawsuits in the works that will force the court to weigh in on if the fund is legitimate. Savannah?
And Ryan, while I have you, there's another fight on Capitol Hill. This one is over that $1 billion request for taxpayer money for the president's ballroom project. So what is the latest on that?
Yeah, this is a big blow to President Trump's proposal for that White House ballroom. Senate Republicans appear set to drop a White House request for $1 billion in Secret Service funding for the project. Now, it's part of a larger bill, which is still being finalized, but there doesn't appear to be enough votes to pass that particular set of security funds, particularly among moderates. Savannah?
All right, Ryan Nobles, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.